What's going on, real ones? BCHQ back with another reaction, and we got another one off the Allegory, Royce the 5'9", another skit, perspective. Let's go.
But you got people of all races, like, coming together and helping shape this from the ground up. So now you got little white kids growing up with black idols, and you got black kids growing up with white idols.
How it should be.
It's just this whole mixing pot. Nothing has brought more races and more people from all different walks of life together than hip-hop. No music has done that. I don't think anything has done that as much as hip-hop has. So, in the same token, I can understand the frustration being that, you know, damn near every form of music, period, was created by black people. So, you got Chuck Berry, you got Rosetta Tharpe, and rock and roll is starting to get some attention, but then along comes Elvis. And people are acting like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. You've seen it before, but you might not have seen a white person do it to this level. So now, he sells the most records and people are calling him the king of rock and roll, right?
Crazy. Numbers.
On the flip side of the coin...
But this is an example. Numbers don't always represent what the realness is. I'm not saying Elvis wasn't real. But do you know what I mean? They go for the image. So there was a black person doing what Elvis was doing, with the moves and everything. But they didn't fit the image that they were trying to sell to people. Come on.
A black kid growing up in, let's say, the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, right? And I'm looking on TV... and nobody looks like me, and it's very stereotypical, and I'm looking at toys, and everything is white. The fucking action figures are all white. The fucking superheroes are all white. Like, maybe there's one or two black superheroes mixed in there with mostly white. I don't know how I grow up and not have a chip on my shoulder. On the other flip side of that coin, we don't get to choose our parents. We don't get to choose what color we're born. It's more about, at that point it becomes, you're born here, you are, you're what color you are, you're what nationality you are, and then it's what you do with it, right?
Trust me. I was saying the other day to someone that we was talking about race, and I was saying that it's difficult for people like in my situation because I'm white, obviously. So a black person might look at me and paint me with the same brush as one that, like, for instance, this copper that just killed that George Lloyd, and paint me with that same brush because they've got a lot of hatred towards certain white people. And then people like me that are not like that get pushed into that same category, which isn't fair. But at the same time, I understand why people do it because they've had a lot of shit against them. It's just unfortunate that people like me and you get caught up in that when we are not the majority of what you see on the TV of, like, white people doing that shit, or just in workplaces and that. There's a whole lot of us that ain't like that. But we do get pigeonholed into the same category, I believe, a lot of the time. Which I understand, as I said, but that just highlights the problems with the tensions between races. And it's a shame, man, but as I said, I understand why black people do that to white people. But just know that we're not all like that, so...
Difference. To make a difference. To me.
M was dropping some gems on you there. I think that was from an interview I listened to before. Can't quite remember what one, but I like that he used M on this as kind of like paying homage to him as well. But M just, do you know what I mean? Like, he was speaking facts, so... Definitely fire, definitely a pass. Perspective, skit. Shout out to everyone supporting. They don't want to fuck with the real ones.